everyone. Welcome to a new live stream of the One World Citizens Reporter. My name is Alice. I am social entrepreneur of Able to Sustain and active member of One World Citizens in the Netherlands. Today with me in the studio here is also Monique van Dam, founder and director of One World Citizens. Nice to meet you again, Monique.
Nice to meet you, Alice.
Today or together, you and me, we bring you this week's One World Citizens Reporter. We present the One World Citizens Reporter to bring the One World Citizens community together online to inspire and to motivate each other by sharing the One World Citizens community feeling. And to let you know, of course, what is happening in our beautiful network, because we want to share all the news and updates about projects that are going on, about events or even conferences. And of course, also show you a little bit more of the faces behind One World Citizens and the living legends who are active in our network. You as watchers, viewers, hello everyone. You can let us know what you want to see or what you want to know, or if you want to be part of one of the following episodes. So please comment, feel welcome to comment and let us know what you want to see or hear. We return every week. Every week we try to be here around 6 o'clock Dutch time. And for now, just don't forget to let us know if you're watching in the comments, please.
This week, sorry.
No, Monique. Can you tell us a little bit more about this week's episode?
Of course I can. This week's episode is about the action box and how we can make it the global symbol of achieving the 17 global goals by 2030 from the power of youngsters and communities. And of course, which always is our focus, with no one left behind. And this adventure of the action box, it started in 2017, when we started collaboration with the city of Eindhoven and our team in Rwanda to connect youngsters from Eindhoven, Netherlands and Kigali by a platform that we wanted to build online so that they could work on projects and ideas for achievement of the global goals. And in 2018, we were lucky that we were able to visit Rwanda for the first time. Actually, it was because the team of Rwanda was not able to get a visa to visit us in the Netherlands. So we thought, well, if it's not that way, then we go there. And we were able to visit them in Kigali and for 3 weeks, also with Pradeep from Nepal and Augustine from Kenya. So we were together with really an active group of youngsters. And we were there to see what do the youngsters in Rwanda see as opportunities, as important change towards a better future for youngsters in Rwanda. And during that 3 weeks, we also came to the idea of the action box. And then in 2019, we found Ksenia as a student who was willing to work on the design of the action box. And today she's here because last week she presented her design at the university as the final part of her study. And today she's here with us. So I would say welcome to you to the studio, Ksenia.
Yeah, I will. Sorry, that was the wrong button. I will invite you, Ksenia. Hi, hello. Ksenia, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you, Ksenia. It's our pleasure to have you here. And first of all, of course, congratulations. You graduated on the Bachelor of Science Building Engineering at AVANS University in Den Bosch. And with the Global Goals Action Box. So am I right?
Yes, completely right. It's on my final project, the Action Box, and I was completely glad to hear that I graduated, of course, but also very proud of being able to design this project. Thank you for Monique. And
you're welcome.
Actually, all the effort that was also quite information and with communication. and all the community. It was amazing to work with you and actually, have those end results also in the presentation and maybe able to present this as my own design. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a nice adventure together. I think it lasted 1 year, almost 1 year in total, but it was very nice to work together with you and the team in Rwanda, of course. But could you please tell us a bit about why did you decide to take on this project of designing the Global Goals Action Box?
Of course, the main cause why I decided to dedicate my my study and my project, the last project, was also because I really do care that the building environment also has innovation. And from my point of view, it's very important to have the idea that kickstart the movement of building and building engineering in all over the world, that to think differently, that there are actually ways to build something without gaining so much from our nature, to implement some ideas and some solutions that are have less impact on the environment, and actually have an eye-opening effect on the surrounding our surrounding world. That the fact that you don't need actually a lot of steel, glass, and concrete to manufacture one building, and that it can be really impactful to use also materials that can regrow or be reused. And that was my main goal, and especially building something that develops in terms of especially for communication and for community there and here. It's very important, and I thought it would be really a good chance for also me for develop the skills and the skill set actually to be able to gain the points that the developer or who needs what, and to gain the right frameworks to how to design a building. So how to translate it from an idea to a real project and a real building, and especially the design that fits actually perfectly the community and the needs of a place and the people who are there. So that was really interesting for me personally. And on the journey and on the way, there were also really a lot of discussions about it, and all the information and everything that came together eventually. That's very empowering for my idea of how building and engineering actually should work and should perform actually for us as people.
Yeah, you're right.
And could you tell us a little bit about why do you think, because I think that the Action Box is not just a building, it's much more than that. It's a place to bring people together in action. But can you tell us a little bit more about why it is important that this Global Goals Action Box is there or will be there in the future?
Well, the Action Box was eventually the idea to have a building or a place, as you said, to gather people and to have the information center or information spot, especially for youth, that is actually free to access, and also free to be able to come there, to have the right information, to get help, or to be able to evaluate your skill set, or actually to also to innovate and evolve on your own path. And Action Box is really the needed turning point, especially in Kigali, to gain all the information that is provided by the government, the parties that are there at this spot in Kigali who are working in the center, so the parties who are already in the working field, and the youth that is, there's a lot of schools and universities that are surrounding the place, to actually be able to make contact between all the groups, and also to have additional information from the internet. Of course, we all have access, but not everybody knows where and how to find the necessary information where you can learn from. So the action box actually is the foundation of gathering information and the needed parties to have more learning and growing paths, especially for the youth in Kigali.
Yeah, because this is the place, I think, Monique, you can tell something about this in 2018, where the action box is actually started there, the idea to place an action box here in the streets of Kigali in Rwanda.
Yeah, you're right. In this area, it's not on this picture, but there are high buildings very close to each other, and there's very good 4G internet. And that's not in every corner of Kigali the same. So here there's a lot to do about businesses and also government buildings, but also the students here are in the street with their laptops because of the good internet. And that's why we came to the idea, what if we should make a kind of external classrooms where it's about the global goals, but also about ICT and technology and entrepreneurship, so that can bring the students really in action together for turning their ideas into startups, for example, but also where we can connect them online with the students from Eindhoven, for example, because that was what the project was about.
Yeah, wonderful. And we just saw already a glimpse of the design of the action box. I have another picture here. This is the design that you made after working together with the team in Rwanda. So can you tell us a little bit about how did you come up with this design, Ksenia?
Yes, of course. Kigali car-free zone is how it's called, the place where it would be placed, or at least that was the first assumption that it could be placed there. And I first started by researching the area and of course analyzing what's there. That's why I came up also that it would be a really good idea to bring different parties together. And after that, I actually went searching for some minimalistic designs that can be easily reproduced and also replaced. So the joints would be not permanent of the building, but the building should, of course, like stand still and be constructive, correct. And after that, actually, I had different ideas about this joint. I really fancy the idea that of the sliding in joint, and that it can be holding itself without screws or anything that that's permanent, making the joint permanent. So the sliding parts of the, like actually the T and the in slide was a really like a solution that I really fancied all the way. Only in the beginning it was an idea to make of course just a normal recognizable shape of like a four corners building with the sliding in shape like in on the scale of 1 to 20, so it was really small. But on the journey of development of design, it became clear that a normal building design would not have the necessary like multifunctional way. You cannot use a wall in a different like there's only one function to a simple wall. So, but if you expand the wall and make it a big space and a big, like this hexagon shape, it can easily become a working place in itself. So actually, by tackling points of the multifunctionality and the ability of using elements in not only in one way, but also in different ways, this design actually expanded from one regular building with 4 walls that could be easily removed and screwed together or made apart each other, to this weirdly looking hexagon shapes that actually link to each other by construction, and later on closed by the window frames, and and are actually open and free to enter from the inside.
Yeah, so I see different working units on the as well, down and upper level, and then I think there are solar panels on the roof to power it all.
Yes, it was one of the goals, is to have a clean energy, and as well here I use the ability to think in the minimalistic way. So we really searched to the way of implementing solar panels and as roof, and especially at the first phase it seemed impossible. But on the journey and on the way on researching, we actually came across a production that made it possible to make a solar panel as a roof itself, and that actually you make a roof out of solar panels. So it's a double working level of one thing in the same building.
Yeah, great. Looks amazing.
Yeah, and one of the part of the assignments was that it should be movable. Can you say something about that, Ksenia?
Yeah, true. That was also the part that the joints should not be permanent, and that's why the construction is also, or the construction shape is also really profitable in this stage, is because you can link the joints or unlink it unlimited times, because as long as you keep the construction form of the hexagon and use all the elements, it's always stable in this way. But you can move it as long. You can build and rebuild it actually from the same parts anytime you want.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. Because I can imagine there might be events when it's there on a place placed in Kigali, somewhere in the center. It might be necessary to move it to other places, maybe to test it, or maybe to see if they can put several action boxes around Kigali. So that's really wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit, Ksenia, about in the whole process of working together with the team of Rwanda and doing your research into Kigali and also the materials, and what for you did you learn? Did you get out of it? Of course, the technical side must be a lot of knowledge that you gain, but like personally, what was your experience? What did you experience? What did you learn from working together like this?
Well, at first, the Rwanda team was mainly the one who put all the information. So it was really a big input and a lot of discussions on how and why this look and why not, and what is able and why movable, and how can you make it movable. And it was really sometimes a lot of discussions, and sometimes also like a bit of brain blows in between of how can they actually make it happen and what should be used. But in the end, I would say I have learned that the most simple decisions and actually simple solutions are the most workable in the end. As how it's like as simple you make it in beginning, how more simple it will come out in the end of the process. And this is also the same with the use of the materials of this building. Actually, the solutions or the decisions within the building are you can use any multiplex plates and actually glue them together until they become on the right strength for the construction. And that gains the effect of that it does not break, and it does hold the necessary weight of people who need to work there and be there and permanent. And the same, the construction of the window. The first idea was to make it the glazing all the way, but then the glazing would become too heavy to make it to be able to place it with one or two persons in place. So it was also like the solution to, okay, then let's split it by half to make the necessary daylight input still possible, but to lower the weight of one window or panel. And actually, the same was with the roof. You see the solar panels. Actually, one solar panel should be made matching the crossings of the beams for the roof. And yeah, it's very simple, but in the end, it gains you the more clarity and the more understanding of the construction. And it's also the beneficial of it, of this whole design, to make it so simple that even even people who just maybe receive it as one building block with loose elements, they could see the IKEA manual. They could see it and then say, "Oh, this should be looking like this," and you got all the elements, and you can figure out yourself how to build it. It should be that simple, and that was also the main goal with the design.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because that's like so simplifying your design. It's also a great advice to other people developing projects, because I think also in One World Citizens, that's what we are aiming for, actually, that it can be copied or built by others. So our effect, or it's achievable for more people. So it's a great example, and it's great to hear from you as well that you got through that process of simplifying the design, but having the goal still very clear in front of you.
Yes. I also liked the way we worked together, first with Jean-Paul, and how we became a team by online communication. And later on, when we were in Rwanda again in 2019, we met Mr. Toussaint from Rebu, an organization who also designs kiosks for ICT in Rwanda. And then he became also part of our team. And now we can say, since last week that you finished this design, that we're really active, also for the follow-up. And can you tell us a bit about the next steps from now? What you see that might happen?
Actually the Rwanda team, especially Mr. Toussaint, what Monique said, was at first able for discussions about the design, and we implemented as many points as possible to be able to to fit the design also with their understandings and their needs in Kigali. And right now, it's last week actually, we had the ability to to first present the design for the whole team of the building team of Mr. Toussaint in Kigali. It's called Rebu, right?
Yes.
The Rwandan building company, actually. And you're really glad that they agreed to proceed with, actually the work together and design together further. The next meetings will bring us more conversations and discussions about the design, but also about the construction and the ability how we actually can make it workable and buildable, as you can say, in Kigali. And that's of course the main goal. So I expect that my design will be actually more developed further, especially for the construction and the technical parts. Of course, because for my research, my main goal was the design, and within the 10 or actually half a year that school gives me for the research, I would not be able to research all the aspects of one building. So I'm really glad that they actually moving on with the design and making giving the ability to make progress also on other fields and implement them further in the design and actually make the finalized project.
Yeah,
and we heard also some good news. Monique, maybe you can tell us that it will be part of the Commonwealth Youth Forum next year.
Yeah. So Mr. Toussaint and Rebu will not only be the building partners, but we also signed a partnership because we saw the good opportunity to make the Global Goals Action Box part of this youth forum. And this youth forum will be very international. Very many people will come together, also to talk about the future of youth in general and sustainable development, of course. And if we do it well, if we succeed, then the Global Goals Action Box will be opened there, so implemented in reality. And that's really a great thing, because we would like it to be the symbol of global goals in action, really work on the global goals, and we might make it happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that's an exciting new already that we are hoping to see more of it in the coming period as well from you, Ksenia. So how it all will come together in the end. And once it is all realized, or once the action box is actually there, what do you hope will happen from that?
Well, once it's already there, they of course can use it and place it in any locations they want. And I hope that it will suit their purpose, actually, the development of the skills of youth, and of course the the information center for all the parties in Kigali center. And eventually action box stands for the action on the global goals. So I really hope that all the actions that will be taken by youth in the action box eventually will bring more development to the global goals globally.
Wow, that's a great goal. Yeah.
And it's also there to connect youngsters online with youngsters from other countries. So it could be really the start of the collaboration, more collaboration, like you did with the Rwanda team already, Ksenia, to come to this good design and the opportunity of the implementation of the Global Goals Action Box. But all other kind of ideas could start there too. So it could really bring, how can I say, development in other countries too.
Yeah, and I see as well in the partnerships that were already happening through this project, through the Global Goals Action Box. It's an international collaboration. It's a great concept that we can use anywhere. And I really hope that even in the Netherlands one day there will be an action box. Maybe, in the streets of my city or in Den Bosch where we are active. So it's a great way, I think, to bring youth together and work together online internationally, and I think it can work in many countries. So yeah, it's really a great example. Ksenia, thank you for all the effort that you have put into this project.
Thank you. I did it with all my heart. And I also hope really that, eventually Action Box becomes like not the design, but maybe like a trend to place information center to activate more youth and actually bring all the parties together, especially the cities of Eindhoven and the Bosch. I think it's really needed to have all the students gathering somewhere that they know they can actually start some entrepreneurships and start some projects and like implement or develop their ideas in real life. It will be really valuable.
Yeah, and the building is the example of how it can become reality. So that's a great thing. I see a lot of responses in the chat. A lot of people are congratulating you. This is Michael. Nice that you're here. And Wendy also, congrats, great job, she says. And Ivan, he is from Rwanda. It's amazing work that you've done so far. My question for you, Ksenia, is where do you ourselves with the action boxes in 5 years' time?
See yourself, I guess.
Where do you see yourself?
Where do you see Action Box in 5 years' time? Well, I think that there would be a more development, and I hope that more students or youth actually get inspired by this idea and maybe design the next Action Box. I would really love to see that, and in 5 years, I hope it will trigger even more action for the improvement of the buildings and especially built environment. So it's like an inspiration for the youth.
Yeah, and I see Aldo from Albania. Can't wait to see it implemented somewhere. Well done. Maybe even Albania, Aldo. I know the Albanian team is also working on great things, so might be something there too. I think it was sort of becoming, we're heading to the end of the interview. Monique, do you have any more questions, or are there any questions from the people who are watching? Then now is the time. Monique, is there anything you would like to ask?
No, I have no more questions. I can say see you Friday, Ksenia, with the other meeting with the team from Rwanda to work on the follow-up.
Yes,
thank you very much.
Very excited about that for Friday. We have actually set meetings also with other architects and other construction developments. So I'm really excited how many good or bad things I have to say.
Yeah, we can't wait to see and hear more about you and the action box, and I'm sure that we will hear much more about it in the coming period on the Facebook, and who knows, maybe we can invite you once more to the chat when we actually have the building here. That would be great.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you so much, Ksenia, for today's interview. For the people watching, don't leave us yet, because we have some great news and updates to share. Monique, maybe you want to start with it. And for the people who are watching, please give your support once again to Ksenia. And just let us know anything you want to know still from her.
Yeah, the first news is about Nepal, about Pradeep Sapkota in Nepal. I think most of you know him. Like we worked with Ksenia on the Global Goals Action Project, we also worked with students from the HAS on cattle farming, improvement of cattle farming in the community of Pradeep. And they came with very good ideas for how to feed the cows in a better way so that they produce more milk, but also how to find a good milking machine. And that's the first milking machine in the community of Pradeep that we were thinking about. And by this project and the concepts that came out of it, we also did some fundraising with the students themselves and teachers from the HAS. And now we were able last week to share the donations with Pradeep so that he can invest in the milking machine, but also in producing the seed planter tool. And it's also a really important tool in the community. So we will invite him as soon as there is news about that new tool. But now we are very happy that we can make also implementation of the prototypes and concepts that were made with students in Nepal already.
Yeah, so that means we will see a lot of progress in this coming period. Maybe 2021 will be the year of implementation and results.
Definitely. Yeah, the first phase was bringing youngsters together and see to get the assignments within the school curriculum. And we succeeded. And then now the outcomes are so well. So the quality is so good of the prototypes and the concepts that we can go choose now for implementation. We have to, because that's the final part of our loop.
Yeah. And the last deal we want to share you, I see Lisa's face is under the banner, is that this Friday, for the people who have participated in the We Grow Together online dialogue conference 2 weeks ago, you know that there's been an invite for a next follow-up, for the first follow-up, actually first meeting. And that will be this Friday, 8 o'clock Dutch time. But actually it's open. Lisa told us last week in the live stream here that it's open to anyone. So if anyone would like to join, there's a link shared on the Facebook page of One World Citizens with the announcement. And there will also be on Friday, I think, the link to the meeting. So exciting as well to see how we can follow through all the ideas and inspiration that came out of the dialogue conference this year. I think that brings us to the end of this episode. I'm really glad we had a lot of people here tonight watching with us, so very happy. I want to thank again Ksenia, who is here with us in the studio to tell us about the Global Goals Action Box and her way of designing it. And of course, everyone who was watching, please leave your support and in the comments for us, and let us know what you want to see or hear for maybe next episodes, or if you want to be part of one too, you're very welcome to it. That leaves us to saying goodbye. See you next time, and have a good week.
Yeah, to be continued.